Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having an amazing Saturday morning. So, I'm coming to you live today to do some sort of an update on the shifting consciousness and to answer the questions that I asked in the group, Conscious Leader Community Group. So, we're going to start with the questions and then we'll move into the update. So Mariah says, I feel like this is shaking out the old, making us uncomfortable so that we can fully step into the new and release what is no longer serving us. Very, very true. It's exactly what's happening. In the beginning of this year, 2020, I stated that we would have disruptions. We would have disruptions in our life because sometimes that's what it takes in order for us to sort of wake up and say, oh, maybe I should try something different. That's exactly what is happening. So, move through the disruptions, right? Like, there's no normal to go back to. I'm going to repeat that again. There is no normal to go back to. You cannot have a disruption in your life and then believe or have some sort of unreal concept that you can go back to what you had before. That's not how change works. That's not how the shifting consciousness works. You have to create something new now. Like embrace it, like flow with it. Be very fluid in your energy and allow it to happen. Brenda asks, do you think this is leading us to live a simpler life and to be more content with ourselves? Yes, that's exactly what this is. Like, this is the shifting consciousness that we have been here for a long time. Is it to lead a simpler life? Well, it's all about going inward. Like, the shift that we are working through is going inward. And when we deny ourselves the inward process, that's where Melissa's question comes in, is what's my physical pain? It causes physical pain. When you're denying yourself your own soul self, your own alignment to who you really are, like everything in your body, everything in your emotions, everything in your mental field, everything in your soul self, your spirit, like it begins to hurt. So, yeah, it's a simpler life, but it's all about going inward. Mental clarity. Yeah, this is an opportunity for a lot of mental clarity, right? When you stop having disruptions around you constantly, like that's where the clarity comes in. That's why I teach meditation. You should be meditating all the time, every day. Because it helps with the mental clarity. You're taking a half hour out of your life to calm down the body so that you can actually see and be and live in a clear field of consciousness where you know that everything around you is as it should be and you know when you're out of alignment. I mean, that's exactly how it is. Ellen says, it feels necessary that our nation slows down and pause to allow the new world to be created. Our new codes and DNA upgrades taking place all the time. We carry everything in us, right? But they do have to be activated because they've been dormant for such a long period of time that there are people, places, words, like anything can activate them. The slowing down, that this disruption, this is a nationwide disruption, right? This is not just a small group of people having a disruption in their life. This is a nation worldwide disruption. And when we have a worldwide energy that comes in and says, okay, we're going to put a stop to all of this disruptions so that you can all have an opportunity to see the bigger picture here. Now, so now what's really happening? So let's take a look at the the truth, because we're truth lovers and truth bombers. So the truth here is there's no normal to go back to. The truth is we are in a individualized world of duality, universe of duality. It's not just a world, it's a universe of duality, which means that we came here to experience something other than essence, something other than God, source, creator, love, essence. Which means all those belief systems out there that says we are one and we're in this together, they're total lies. I'm just going to say it. They're total lies. Because this experience has nothing to do with oneness. This experience has you going back into your own wholeness, so that when you make a decision to go back into the God, source, creator consciousness, that's available. Otherwise, you're still in some sort of separation. You're still in some sort of illusional reality that you aren't God, source, creator. See, that's what the oneness is. That's the only thing that actually is true here. Is that beyond this universe, beyond these playgrounds of duality, there is a conscious oneness. But in order to get to the oneness, you have to become whole within yourself. Because in this playground of duality, you've split. You've split yourself. I mean, heck, the human body is evidence of that. The fact that we have a mental body is evidence of that. The fact that we have an emotional body is evidence of that. The fact that we have a spiritual body, a soul body, which is considered to be outside of yourself, should be your evidence. I mean, there's enough evidence here for the truth to be known. Look, I'm not trying to spread fear. I'm trying to spread truth. And if this resonates with you, let me know, because like this is what's happening. We are moving into a state of wholeness within the self. That's the purpose of going inward. That's the purpose of knowing who you really are. You can't know who you really are if you're still allowing your thoughts to control you, if you're still allowing your emotions to control you, if you still have a belief system that says you're separate from the oneness. You're still in some form of a separation, the illusion that you aren't essence. That's what this shift is. It's brilliant. This is a brilliant experience. It really is. But there has to come a realization, especially when the entire world shuts down, that says, look, see the bigger picture here. This is not what you think it is. The fact that a virus, which is a dead thing, like it's not alive until it actually finds a host. I mean, how much more information do we have to have in order to understand that we are all separate here? There is no oneness. We're not in this together. My experience, you cannot have my same experience about what's happening here. I can't have your experience. There's no oneness. The only way that we're in all of this together is that it's an event that we're all experiencing. How each one of us play it out is totally individualized. But yet when we want to rally the troops, or we want to rally people together, we use words and concepts and false ideas about about what's really happening here. Honestly, all you have to do is go inward. Go inward. Understand who you are. Bring all of your pieces back together, right? Bring all of your aspects into this focus, into this projection right here. You'll never be sick again in your life. It's true, because when wholeness is there, there's no parts missing. Nothing can invade the wholeness. Nothing can. Christine, that's a really good point. She's been talking to her plants and sending them love and light, and then watching how they become more vibrant and grow. What if you actually did that to yourself? Sending love out is fantastic. I do it all the time. But don't forget to send yourself love. Like, don't forget to come home. 2 years ago, I created a campaign of coming home. It was highly ignored. It was highly ignored. It was so funny. Because honestly, that's what we have to do now. There is literally no way to get out of it. No way to get out of this coming home that we're experiencing right now. To be present in who you are, to be present in your emotions, to be present in all of your thinking and like your whole entire experience. That's what this is all about. Being present, being in the here and now, knowing who you are and loving who you are. Like there's no one else to love. We have this illusion of thinking that if we love someone, that we become more loved. The only one you can really truly love is yourself. You're the only one. You're the only one that can really understand who you are, why you're here, what your purpose is, what your experience is, what you learn every single day about yourself. You're the only one that can actually understand that and actually be that. Sharing it with the world is nice and fun and all, but they're having their own individual experience. There's no group experience here. Sure, we can have synchronicities, but that doesn't equal the same thing. They're just synchronicities. So, an upgrade on what's happening right now, go inward as much as you possibly can. Do what the body needs. The body needs a lot of things right now. There's a lot of physical pain going on. There's a lot of remembering going on through that physical pain because we've shared in this kind of an experience before where there was a virus, an attack of a virus, and the bodies were mutated. That's probably what the physical pain is right now. Allow yourself to move through that. Heal that up and move through it. We have a lot of emotions right now. There's a lot of scariness that's going on. There's a lot of programming going on. This is programming at its finest. Have you noticed? Literally programming at its finest. If you want to know what programming is, just watch the news one day or 2 days. Same thing, over and over and over. That's programming. Why do we always forget that? Well, because, Brenda, this is an experience in duality. We are here. That's the key to the experience, is duality, is to forget. Yeah. Doesn't make it right. It just makes it part of the experience. So chalk it up to the experience. Have little notes all over your house that say, remember who you are, love who you are, be there for you. Yes, exactly, Lisa. Like just because my experience is like extreme consciousness, let's just put it that way. Like I get consciousness, I get how it works, I see it, right? I see it, I know it, I live it literally every single day. I'm constantly asking for new levels of conscious awareness, of to see the bigger picture, all those kinds of things. But no, never compare yourself to anyone, especially not me, because the world does not need more of me's. Don't ever do that to yourself. That's self-sabotage at the greatest extent. So, what you want to do is know who you are. That's the only thing that's important. In an experience of duality, you have separated yourself, just as I have. We all have. And we have multiple versions of ourselves out in the multiverse. Bring those experiences into who you are now. Bring those aspects of you home. That's where we're at right now. That's why we're being forced, literally forced, to be quiet, to stop with the distractions, and to go inward. I mean, this is a gift. This is not a horrible thing that we're experiencing right now. It's a stinking gift. And if we don't understand what's really happening here, the big picture, the 360 view, we should all be looking at the 360 view here, not a very narrow one-lane road. This is not a one-lane road. It's a worldwide road. It's a 360 view. So looking at that 360 view, this is a gift to go inward. This is penumbral energy that we're experiencing this entire year. That means that we have to start looking at the big truths. We have to start looking at our own shadow energy, which isn't, shadow energy isn't bad. I mean, my shadow energy was based all around my success in the world, what I thought I wanted to do, to be, how I wanted to serve. Success was my shadow energy. I'm going to guess it's the majority of people's shadow energy. I mean, all those dark, crazy things that we used to do in other lifetimes, chances are we've already worked through them. And if not, this is an opportunity to do that. So yes, this is an entire shadow year. An entire shadow year. Oh gosh. Because it's penumbral energy all year long. Keep in mind, June and July have back-to-back penumbral eclipses. Full moon penumbral eclipses, June and July. Now, energetically, right now, in this present moment, they don't look to be too exhausting. Not as long as this one, but we may still be in this penumbral energy. If we don't do our work, we may still be here. Who knows? Okay, Melissa, my entire home is lashing out. How can I help them? What does lashing out mean? Like, give me more information. Yes, I have noticed, haven't been able to sleep lately. Right ear has been ringing like crazy. Yes, Heidi, there are new vibrations coming in and they are creating these kinds of experiences. Ringing in the ear is very common right now. Lots of muscle pain is very common right now. Inner ear imbalances is very common right now. Like, that's probably the most common thing that's happening with people. Because, there's no normal to go back to. So stop trying to be normal. Just flow with it. Literally. So they're freaking out about the virus, or freaking out about staying home, or freaking out about change. Chances are, yeah, Melissa, their shadows are trying to show up and trying to be worked through. So here's the deal with any kind of emotional energy is you have to move through the energy. You can't stuff it. You can't hold it back. You can't pretend that it's something else. Like, that's the old programs. That's what we've been taught to do in the past. That no longer, we can't do that anymore. We actually have to acknowledge it. We have to understand the emotions, and we have to move through the emotions. There's no way out of an emotion. other than to like really understand what it's trying to express. If you have fear about the virus, what's the fear about? Do you have a memory about being in a pandemic in some other reality? Like that's probably part of what's happening here. We have to be able to move through the belief system that says this is the only reality. No, this is an illusion, just like all the other ones in this universe. They're all illusions. Here's the meaning of an illusion is consciously we project energy towards a specific experience. The human body is an experience. The mental, like this right now, is an experience. And we project all of our consciousness towards that one experience. The illusion is that we don't have any other experiences out here. We have multiples of them. That's what the multiverse is. Study quantum physics if you want to know what a multiverse is. They're right on. That's exactly how I see things. So if we have our focus is right here, the illusion is that this is the only thing that exists. It's not. This is not the only thing that exists. This moment right here, right now, is not the only thing that exists. What does exist right here in this moment, right now, is your pain. Which is a clue that there's something else here. And that's how the whole experience of duality was created. Was through this, you're separate from your God self creator, and now how do you play that out? How do you experience being separate from your God self creator self? Hope that makes sense. So start talking in a 360 view. Like start talking to them about what they're lashing out about. What is it really? I mean, we can be angry all that we want, but what's under the anger? Like that's what you have to start asking is what's under your anger today? I need to understand because, we're trying to live here together and I don't understand what the anger is about. So start digging in deeper. Use soul-piercing questions where they can't just deny it. My success has been my greatest failures. Yeah, that's true. But just think of all the experience you've had. Sharp eye pain and headaches. Yes, that's part of the remembering portion of this experience, this pandemic kind of experience. Yeah, so, Melissa, your family's probably just like everybody else in the world right now. Like we're not used to change. Like we don't like change because the ego has a tendency to say, yeah, I'm just going to sit back, be lazy. No change is ever going to happen and we're just going to continue on this normal experience forever. Now there's not an option. Like we have to get ready and used to change because in our futures, if this continues to be the focused reality, our future is all about change. Like it's continuous. So I have a husband who's just like that. Like he's stuck in the 80s. Been there all of our lives. Loved being in the 80s. But like he's slowly like trying to work things through and I'm helping him trying to work things through so that he can literally get used to change. He doesn't like change. Doesn't like it at all. He just wants to be on this normal, even keel. Doesn't like to deal with emotions. And that's pretty much what's happening with all of humanity right now. Not very many of us love to deal with our emotions. But honestly, they're really not that bad once you start understanding them. Once you start understanding your emotional body and how sadness really probably isn't sadness, you just linked it all together with anger, then you know what you're dealing with. Ooh, Fatan, that's a good one. hers is all about her dreams. My dreams are becoming so real. Yeah, because you're trying to embody, you're trying to bring home those aspects of you from the multiverse. So ask your dreams what they need. Ask that portion of you what it needs in order to come home. That's all about you learning how to listen at a universal level rather than a human level. So that's what the ringing of the ears is, and that's what my um, inner ear imbalance has been. It's like moving the mind, the consciousness to a universal and beyond, and embodying like the frequencies of it has everything to do with movement right now. Like, moving forward, moving backwards, remembering, moving sideways, moving in a bigger, expanded view. That's really what the inner ear headache it's all about movement. How are you moving in life? How are you expanding? And vivid dreams, those are vivid dreams. Like, I don't dream hardly at all. Well, I don't remember my dreams. Honestly, I leave the body at night and I don't really dream any longer. I used to, but no more. So dreams are literally the multiverse saying, hey, here I am, see me. This is the experience over here. How can I come home? So yeah, so pay attention to that ringing of the ears, right? Like where are you moving to? How can you move? How can you, what's the frequency that you're opening to? All right, other questions? Anybody else that I'm missing? I hope that this helps. Let me know if it helps or if I need to change my language in some other way so that I can explain things a little bit better. I'm all about changing my own language so that people can hear and understand what's happening now. So let me know. Please let me know. Any other questions? I don't see any here, but let me check and make sure that I answered all the other questions. Okay, so Cindy wanted to know my thoughts and feelings about what's going on right now and what we should learn from this time. Okay, so I just pretty much answered that one, Cindy. Hopefully that's the answer to your question. The eye pain is all about seeing in a universal way. It's not about seeing what we perceive to be reality, like the grass is green, the trees are green, this is a computer screen. It's all about seeing beyond. It's really about embodying that crystal kind of concept and energy, and being very focused. That's what crystal energy is they are very focused. If you see people that have those crystally kind of, actually there's a lot of people, one of my coaches, Amber, her eyes are actually changing to that crystal blue color. And her eyes are there's no focus, hardly at all for quite some time now. And so she's experiencing that, and that's part of what some people are experiencing. My eye color changes frequently. It's never really the same color, hardly ever. And so I know that I move back and forth in consciousness, and there are other beings who are always coming in to speak in certain ways, and they'll bring their own eye color. So the eye pain, so Amanda, just ask yourself what's really real. Do your eyes really see what's real? Or is there something else that you can see? It's really moving beyond that veil of the seen and the unseen. Try some cold packs. It should help with the pain. But honestly, if you do the shadow work of removing your fear of seeing the unseen, you'll be fine. Yes, Heidi, ask your dreams what they need. So that means when you wake up in the morning, just before you get out of bed, just say, okay, I had this vivid dream, and pull the dream into your consciousness, right? So that you can sort of see it, review it, understand it in the present moment. And then ask your dreams what they need in order to be healed. Chances are, that's what dreams come in for. They are experiences that you have either here in this experience or in a multiverse experience that sort of give you information about your life. Now, you could be channeling at night. Like that's an opportunity in dream work, is that you channel like other versions of you or other versions of your own consciousness, that can give you information to how to deal with what you're experiencing right now. So asking your dreams what they need is very, very important. Which dimension are we in right now, fourth or fifth? Well, Vatan, that's a tricky question because some of us are back in the first dimension, survival mode. Like that's what the fear is. And they're basically in first dimensional kind of energy, which is pure survival. A lot of us have been in fourth, fifth. Actually, the dimensions, here's the thing about dimensions. They are open all the way to the 12th dimension. You can move in and out of those dimensions very easily, frequently, and you're probably not even conscious about it sometimes. The thing about dimensions is they are upgrades in belief systems. I'm going to repeat that. Dimensions are upgrades in belief systems. That means that you're just changing, evolving belief systems. Dimensions are still about beliefs. Now, I teach, if you do the apprenticeship with me, I teach go directly home. Like go directly to your own God self. Because the dimensions are fun and kind of, they're new experiences. There's a lot of ahas. There's a lot of information in them. Right? But it's like taking the scenic route. Now, I don't know about you. I mean, if you like the scenic route, do it. I'm all for it. I'm here to support your experience. Me, I'm more of a direct kind of girl. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to go home right now. I'm just going to bring all my conscious awareness, all my multiverses into this present moment so that I can go home, not even ever have this experience again. And I'm just going to poof out at the end. I'm not going to go through the birth and death experience ever again because it's detrimental to who I am. Those are options. Now, does it take a lot of work to get to that point? It depends on what your version of work is. Like, yeah, it's been a crazy life, but it's what I signed up for and it's what I'm here for, and it's really how I want it to work. Like, I'm the one that's in control here, not something else. I'm the one that's making my decisions for me, and for me, the dimensional route is, I was on that route for a little bit. And I figured out in a real quick way that it's just an upgrade in belief systems. For me, the belief systems is what's really holding me back from moving out of the universe of duality. So yes, you get to... So for humanity, I mean, hopefully this will upgrade those who are actually working through the process and going home and going inward and doing their own personal fear work. Hopefully everyone will all upgrade to the fifth dimension. But keep in mind, we aren't here to do this in a group consciousness. We do have a mass consciousness, yes, that everyone sort of feeds into, but this is an individual experience. It will never be an experience of wholeness or oneness. Those are lies. The only way you can be whole is to go inward, to do your own work, to see things for what they really are, the truth. Everything else is a programming and a belief. Sorry. Or not sorry. Bev, I've self-quarantined day 14 and getting a little cabin fever the last 2 and 3 days. Any suggestions? Go outside for a little while. Like literally go put your back up against a tree and nobody's going to come around you. You're sitting against a tree. And let nature sort of take away that cabin-y kind of fever. And the other thing is, what's cabin fever really? It's a belief system. Cabin fever is just a belief system. All there is freedom. What if that was your belief? All there is freedom. I'm free to do anything that I want. I am free to think anything I want, right? Like, I'm free to emotionally feel anything I want. What would that do to your vibration? What if all there is freedom? Yes, Vitan, the only reality is this present moment. Everything else is a belief. Everything else. Oh, golly. All right, dear, beautiful, amazing beings of love. I hope this helps. Please let me know if you have further questions. I will try to do more updates about what's really happening here. But if we can all just take time and go inward, this whole horrible movie would be over. So, have an amazing day. Love yourself dearly. Go inward as much as you possibly can today. And see your own truth. Like, who are you? Who are you?